Will you be getting your wisdom teeth removed? I bet you are. That's why you're watching this video. And I am so glad that you're doing your research before getting your wisdom teeth removed. That way you'll be prepared for what is to come.
Ese es el antes. Ese es el después.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, hello, my name is Delia Mireya. For this video, it's not going to be a cleaning video, but if you would like to subscribe to my channel, I share with you guys cleaning, beauty, and lifestyle videos. For this video, it's something a little bit different. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experience with my wisdom teeth extraction. It's a bit of a story to tell, so stay tuned because I'm going to be giving you tips for recovery. I'm going to share with you guys my experience, live footage as well, what I ate, recommendations. Stick around to see all of that in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. Where do I start? There's so much for me to talk about. So I had 2 of my wisdom teeth removed in Mexico.
I have a bleeding disorder, Glanzmann Thrombasthenia, and with your wisdom teeth removal, there's a risk of bleeding. There's a problem with my platelets. The glycoprotein inside the platelets, what sticks, doesn't function as it should.
So the risk of me bleeding was even more, which is why my doctor recommended that I first had 2 of my wisdom teeth removed and then go in with the other teeth. Some people get it done all in one, 4 teeth in one surgery, which I don't even know if I could have done that. Like maybe it would have been better for the recovery, like you just get it done and over with one time, but I had to do it twice and both experiences were different. One of them was local anesthesia and the other one I was put to sleep through an IV, so it's totally different. I'll tell you guys later on which of these 2 I prefer. So the first time that I had my wisdom teeth removed, it was very calm, very chill. I went to Mexico, and the reason why I got it done in the border was because it's so much cheaper, which after I got both of my wisdom teeth removed, I actually did a total on my cost, and it probably would have been the same as getting it done here through insurance. My deductible is pretty high. Driving all the way to Mexico, driving 3 hours, and then coming back after having surgery, it can be a little bit exhausting. We went to Mexico, we had this process done, everything as I said was chill. My doctor's like, make sure that you eat something before getting your wisdom teeth removed. Healing process is going to take a while and you won't be able to eat anything after and you're going to be hungry. So I'm like, okay. I even ate an ice cream, I ate some birria, some tortillas, salsa, spicy. I know probably not the best food for me to have chosen, but that's what I was craving at the moment. I was a bit nervous. I was more afraid of the bleeding than of the pain that would come after. I didn't know what to expect. Minutes after I had the wisdom teeth removed, I started swelling and it got so bad, you guys. And the pain, like when we were driving back, I took pain medication because the doctor's like, you know what, the local anesthesia is gonna wear off pretty soon, so take some pain medication, and I did. And then when we were driving back before my next pain medication was due, I was in a lot of pain. This was so bad. It was so painful. It hurted so much. I had to take Tylenol in between because I asked my doctor if it was okay for me to take Tylenol, and he said yes. You're getting ready to cry. Like I held it. It was something totally different. Like I don't even think I felt as much pain when I had my C-section. And then another big mistake, I didn't start applying ice, and the ice helps with the swelling.
So we were in the border and it's like 4 hours to get home, possibly even more. You have to wait to cross to the United States. I waited a lot to actually put ice. I know I bought ice over there, but
it wasn't as helpful as the bands that I bought on Amazon, which I'll link in the description box below. Those bands are so helpful because they go around your head. There's 4 ice packs and you can be putting 2 in the freezer and then using 2 of them. And once those start melting off, like 15 minutes later, you can pop those in the freezer, wait a while, and keep icing it. So once I got home, I started doing that. You can tell like the recovery process. You're gonna see all the images that I will be sharing with you guys. The first time that I had it done, I didn't even want to get ready. Even I did shower, but I'm like, I don't care how I look. And now the second time I was able to put myself together a bit. To me, it was such a bad experience the first time. I mean, I know that other people have probably had worse experiences. At the end of the night, like they recommend don't brush. I did brush very lightly. I think what's more important is not to swish anything in your mouth. All I did was I used a little bit of warm salt water and I rinsed my mouth with that. I think that helps a lot in the recovery recovery process also. I brushed very lightly because I didn't want to put my toothbrush back there, even though I couldn't because the swelling was so bad that I couldn't open my mouth. My finger wouldn't even fit between my teeth. Like, there's a name for it. It's like a problem you get with your jaw when it goes into trauma. That's what happened to me. After brushing, I started bleeding a lot. I had to call my doctor. My doctor said, it's okay, just apply some pressure and you'll be fine, which I did. I was finally able to go to sleep, which I kept waking up to drink my pain meds. One big mistake that I did the first time, that I hope that you guys don't make this mistake, is that I laid down flat on my bed, and that's what caused like the swelling to get so much worse, which I highly recommend that you put some pillows or sleep on a recliner or sleep sitting down if possible. I don't know, put a whole bunch of pillows. You don't want to lay down flat because all the swelling is going to go to your face. It's going to get pretty bad and you're going to see the difference. Like, I did swell the second time that I had my wisdom teeth removed, but it wasn't as bad. At least I don't think it was as bad. I was able to recover so much faster because I knew what to expect. So hopefully you guys will be absorbing and taking all of these tips that I'm sharing with you guys. That way the recovery is much faster and you don't have to go through everything that I went through the first time around. I kept eating the same thing the first time that I had my wisdom teeth removed and the second time as well. A recommendation that I would like to give you guys is that have your food ready and also do some cleaning around the house before you get any surgery or your wisdom teeth removed. Make sure you do your cleaning before, because for the next couple of days you're going to be in the recovery process and you won't be able to do too much physical activity. Sweep, mop, do all of that. Your laundry, you can't be doing a lot of bending. Food, make sure that you buy your food that you're going to be eating for the next couple of days. I ate Jello, you can eat yogurt, and I had my protein shake, which they recommend not to lay off the lactose, not to drink milk, but I did. I mean, I feel like that was the only thing that would fill me and that I felt that I could eat, because something that I like, you could drink any shake that you'd like a green shake or anything with fruits in it, especially if it's cold, a good option there. Sharing with you guys images of the first time that I had my wisdom teeth removed, and I'm going to be doing a voiceover because that video I recorded in Spanish. This is the x-ray of my teeth. As you can see, I would say just my bottom wisdom teeth need to be removed, but my dentist suggested that I get all 4 extracted. So for my first experience, or for this first time, I had my right wisdom teeth removed and I went to Mexico for that. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the dentist told me that I had to eat something because I wouldn't be able to eat anything for the rest of the day. The procedure took about 45 minutes. It was very traumatic. I could hear all the drilling and everything that was going on, and they were having a bit of a hard time to extract my wisdom teeth because they were really rooted in there. They were really stuck in there. I had to get more medication because the local anesthesia was wearing off. Once I got out, I couldn't feel anything. I was able to see that I was already swollen. It was quite an experience since I had to travel to Mexico to get the procedure done. It took a couple hours for me to get back home. That same night I brushed my teeth and I had a lot of bleeding. I called my dentist and my dentist told me that I should just apply some pressure. The next day I was so swollen, you guys. I looked like a chipmunk. I looked horrible. I didn't like how I looked. I was in a lot of pain. All that week I was in intense pain. The doctor in Mexico gave me some antibiotics and he also gave me some pain medication. Now the pain medication, it wasn't able to help the intense pain that I was having. So my dentist suggested that I could take Tylenol in between that other medication. The swelling didn't completely go down till after 2 weeks. Now after maybe day 5, you couldn't tell as much. I did have bruising, but it wasn't as bad anymore. Now for the whole swelling to go away, it did take about 2 weeks, and for the whole pain to actually go away also took about 2 weeks. I still had a little bit of pain here and there at night, but during the day I was okay and I managed fine with Tylenol. But I think after maybe day 5 or 7 was when I stopped taking the medication completely during the day. I would just take it whenever I would eat or whenever I would feel any pain. Now for my second experience, I had my procedure done for my wisdom teeth removal of my left side here in the United States. This was a total different procedure. I had these 2 different surgeries. This was the anesthesia through the IV, and I had some gas put in my nose and then I was out. The procedure here also took 45 minutes. Now to have the wisdom teeth removed. My oral surgeon said that it took about 10 minutes, that they were very easy to, my teeth came out so easily. I also want to mention that looking at the x-ray now, I see that the teeth that my left side were not as bad as my right side. That could have been why I had more bleeding the first time, and that also could have been why I had more swelling the first time as well. Now the second time around, I did get a little bit swollen, but I don't feel like I swelled up as much. I knew what to look out for. I didn't sleep flat this time, which that helped a lot. I slept with some pillows elevated. That helped a lot for me to not have that half chipmunk face. Now for the things that I ate the first time and the second time were very similar. I always drank my protein shake because I felt like that would fill me up and I wouldn't be as hungry. And the first day you can't eat anything crunchy, anything like that. You can't chew as much. So I did drink my protein shake, which includes milk, chocolate, the protein powder with chocolate on it as well, a banana. Now for my snacks, or my meals actually, because I couldn't eat anything else, I would eat yogurts, gelatin. The first day I attempted to eat some scrambled eggs and a little bit of sausage, but it was very hard for me to chew because I was very swollen and I was in pain. So I just sticked to fluids the first day, and then the second day when I was able to chew a bit more, I started eating my fish soup. I would smash up the fish the most that I could. Now for brushing your teeth, is not suggested, right, to brush your teeth for the first 24 hours. Since I did it the first time when I had my wisdom teeth removed, I decided to do it the second time as well. I was just very cautious, just brushing mostly the front of my teeth, and I wasn't brushing at all where the incision was. I wasn't able to open my mouth as much either, so it's not like I was going to be brushing so hard. It might look like I'm brushing hard, but I really wasn't. Now the second time around for my second extraction of my wisdom teeth, I really wanted to heal faster and I knew what to do, so I was doing my mouth rinses with warm water and salt. I did that so many times consistently. I didn't want anything to get stuck back there, and I think that really helped my speedy recovery. And the second time, like, I knew what to expect, so I knew it was going to be painful, but I couldn't remember what the pain was like because it had been 6 months and the pain was back and it was intense. They gave me a hard drug for pain. I only took it one day, and that night I couldn't sleep, so I decided to stop that medication and just stick with Tylenol. After you brush your teeth, you're not supposed to swish back and forth. You're just going to get that warm water with salt, and then you're going to rinse very, very carefully. You're just going to move your head, yes, your whole head, and then you're not allowed to spit, so you're just gonna let it run down your mouth. And I know it looks a bit nasty when I'm doing it, all this slobber and pretty much everything that's coming out. I wanted to keep this video as real as possible. I'm also going to be showing you later on the inside of my mouth, the healing process. I feel like the second time I had more like a blood clot and more of a bruise internal more than exterior. My oral surgeon did tell me that he stitched me up so well, more than he does with his regular patients, because he knew I had the bleeding disorder and I was at a high risk of bleeding. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the different days, how I'm progressing with the recuperation or the healing process of my wisdom teeth extraction. I feel like I didn't get as swollen as I did the first time, and I think I mentioned that already. It was so much more obvious that it wasn't as bad as the first time. Now, if you were to see me up front the day that I had my second teeth extraction, you couldn't really see that I was swollen unless you like really looked at me and stared, which my husband said I didn't get as swollen, but I know that I did because I could feel it. I was able to talk more the second time around. I was able to open my mouth a little bit more, even though I did get TMJ, which is when your jaw locks, and that always happens when you have a trauma in your mouth. So something that really helped me and I would really like to suggest that you guys do are some exercises for your mouth. You're gonna see later on that I couldn't open my mouth, not even 1 inch. After I started doing these exercises, I was able to open my mouth more. And this was a work in progress. Like every time I would eat, like when I went to sleep, my mouth was locked again, like I couldn't open it. But then I started doing the exercises, so I would have to do the exercises several times a day, even before eating. That way I was able to open my mouth more. My oral surgeon also suggested that I try chewing more the second day, so you kind of have to attempt to go for it. You can't just not move your mouth at all. You have to really try. I know it's gonna hurt, it's probably gonna be in pain, but you have to chew just a little bit, like a little bit at a time, and you need to be moving your mouth, and you need to be doing these exercises if you want to speed up the healing process. I'm going to be leaving you guys a video in the description box below. It's a video that I saw here on YouTube. It's these exercises for TMJ, for when you go into any trauma or any surgery, as I did. And I hope that this video that you're watching now and that you're going to watch as well are helpful, because I really want you guys to have a speedy recovery as well. I know what it feels to go through the surgery, and it's no fun at all, but it's something that we have to go through. And at first it took me years, you guys, like over 10 years, over 15 years actually, where my dentist would constantly be telling me you need to have your wisdom teeth removed. The longer it takes for you to have these teeth removed, the older you get, it's gonna get harder. When you are younger, you heal so much faster. So this was a constant reminder from him, and I was always afraid to go to my dentist, because every time he would do our twice a year checkup, he would remind us. And it got to a point where he's like, you know what, I have to stop reminding these kids, because back in the day I was a kid, and he just stopped reminding us, and I was like, oh, we're in trouble. He's not reminding us anymore as he used to, like for years and years. So one day we went to see him, and we're like, guess what? We are gonna have our wisdom teeth removed this time. And he's like, oh, okay. He's probably like, you know what? These kids, they're probably lying, like they've been doing all these years, because we would always tell him, yeah, we're gonna get it done. We will. And we would never get it done. So one day we told him we were gonna get it done, and on our next appointment, we really did have it done. And he's like, hey, yay, good for you guys. I'm so glad that you guys had your wisdom teeth removed already. And I think it's so much easier for them as well, because the cleaning, when they do your teeth cleaning, it's easier for them because there's not a lot of stuff that's stuck back there where your wisdom teeth are. And also you're more prone to cavities when those teeth are way up there and they're so difficult to clean also at home. You're going to be seeing images of the difference that I'm going to be sharing with you guys of before I started doing these exercises and then after. It really did make a difference, and you have to push yourself every day. Every time you do these exercises, you have to keep pushing yourself. That way you're able to open your mouth, you're able to chew. And I know this sounds repetitive, but it's something that you really have to do if you want to speed up the healing process, if you want to be better, and if you want to start eating and going back to your daily routine. For my 1 week update, as you can tell, I might have like very minimal swelling, just a very light bruise, nothing too visible. Now for the pain, it wasn't as bad as I mentioned. It was just maybe a little bit of pain here and there. But one day I forgot to take my medication. Like I was out, I wasn't home, and I forgot my medication, and I was in some pain. But I think that helped as well. Like, hey Mireya, you can go on without your pen medication. Like, you can toughen it out. You don't need to be taking it every 4 to 6 hours. You can do it. And I feel like that's what encouraged me to extend the medication for a couple hours more after that. Now, I did want to share with you guys that I have just a very minimal bruising, nothing too bad. Now for my 2nd week update, I wanted to share with you guys, in case you guys were curious, like, okay, so does the swelling go completely off after 2 weeks, and yes, it does. I was good. The only thing, as I mentioned, maybe a little bit of pain here and there at night, or maybe one day I would get a little bit minimal pain, and maybe like 3 days later, but nothing too bad. I was able to eat, able to move my mouth, everything was well. So expect I guess you can expect the first 3 days maybe to be at their worst with pain, swelling. After that, things will get better. You'll be getting better throughout time. I was still doing my exercises 2 weeks later. I just felt like I had to, because I still had minimal TMJ. One suggestion is to always follow your doctor's orders. They're going to give you a list of things that you can do and that you cannot do. So please make sure that you follow all of those. Things to watch out for, like a warning sign that you need to call your doctor, is if you have heavy bleeding, bad taste or odor, worsening pain that you just can't tolerate even if you're taking the meds, or if there's like a big reaction to the medication that you're taking. Something that you have to try and avoid, and it's so important, so crucial, that you really do take care of yourself at least the first 24 to 48 hours. You want to make sure that you don't use a straw, don't do any rinsing, don't swish back and forth in your mouth, don't eat anything crunchy, don't eat any candy. You want to try and prevent that blood clot that's gonna form. You don't want it to fall off. That's gonna be the protection to the bone that you have where the incision is. I don't know if you're gonna be getting any stitches or anything like that, but that's your protection. That's like a band-aid that you have. If that blood clot comes off, you're gonna have something called a dry socket. So that's an exposure to the bone, and every time you drink water or anything that you eat, it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt really bad. So you want to try and avoid any crazy movements with your mouth at least the first 24 to 48 hours to prevent that blood clot that's gonna form from coming off. Are you ready to hear the things that you cannot do? And that's okay, you guys. It's only gonna be for a week. It's not like it's gonna be forever. Or at least you gotta take care of yourself the first 2 days. After that, lots of you will be fine. I'm just telling you my experience, what I went through. Some people, this is an easy peasy surgery process. I do want to mention to you guys the things that you cannot do these things. Don't smoke, don't drink from a straw, no spitting, no sucking on candy, lollipops, avoid gum, no rinsing, don't cough, don't sneeze, avoid the area of the incision, no cardio, no laying flat because that will increase swelling, no swishing back and forth, don't brush your teeth. Well, at least my dentist told me not to, and I did it both times, both surgeries, because I felt like I had to. And it's okay if you do it, but you just have to be very, very careful. Too much physical activity could elevate your heart rate, and that's going to delay your healing process. Things that you can eat are yogurt, pudding, jello, fluids, applesauce. You can have some shakes, just be very careful. Some stews, but just the juice. Salt water is really going to help in the healing process of your mouth. I think many of you are going to be asking, so Mireya, which of the 2 surgeries do you prefer? Do you prefer to have the local anesthesia, or do you prefer anesthesia through the IV? I would say I prefer, I prefer the anesthesia where you go under. And the reason why I prefer that one is because you don't feel anything. Now, the first time that I had my wisdom teeth removed, I was able to hear, they just did like the local anesthesia in my mouth. I was able to see everything that they were doing, hear everything. It was very traumatic to me. I can still hear the drilling that they were doing. The dentist was trying to get my wisdom teeth out. They were really hard. He had to tug. He had to almost like jump on top just to pull that tooth out. It was so hard, like he couldn't do it, and he's like, open your mouth more, and I'm like, this is the most I can do. So they had to like hold my mouth open, and that's why I got like a little bruise on my mouth. They couldn't pull my wisdom teeth out. Finally, when he was able to pull it out, I fell on my knees. It was really traumatic. Okay, the procedure the first time around took 45 minutes. The second time it took 10 minutes. It took longer for me to wake up, but I had to stay there for a while. They were just checking on me, making sure that I was fully awake. When I left, I was awake. I knew what was going on. but I was still a little bit drowsy. I didn't have a unique experience like many people do with a laughing gas, nothing like that. That's the option I would go with. Price, I'm gonna be linking it somewhere here. I have my receipts. I hope that you guys find this video helpful. I hope that I was able to help you in any way, and I hope I shared everything that you wanted to know for your wisdom teeth extraction. I want to tell you that don't be afraid, don't be nervous, everything's gonna be fine. You're looking up as much as you can on the recovery process. You're probably even going through the wisdom teeth surgery right now, or you already went through it and you just want to know how to recover better, and it's not too late. You can still do your warm water with salt rinses. If you still haven't had the surgery, I suggest you sleep with some pillows. That way, don't lay flat. I mean, that's the most important thing, because you're gonna swell up. I mean, I swelled up, but I feel like the second time around it wasn't as bad. Like, I didn't go through that much pain either. Like, I don't know what it was. I wasn't in so much pain. Like, it did hurt, obviously, but they gave me a strong oxycodone, I think it was. I only took one of those pills. I was getting ready to wrap this video up, and I'm so glad that I remembered about that. I took that medication and I regretted it so much because I wasn't able to sleep till like 4:30 in the morning. I kept trying to fall asleep and I just couldn't, and I couldn't. And I wasn't like on my phone or watching any TV or nothing like that because I kept trying to go to sleep. I had my eyes closed, and I remember it's like 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and I just could not go to sleep. I had my eyes like wide open, and to me, sleep is very important. I needed my beauty sleep and I couldn't sleep at all. So I stopped taking that medication. I only took one of those. After that, I went with Tylenol. That's what I would recommend. If you can be without the heavy pain meds, I suggest that you leave those and you just take Tylenol. But again, you have to ask your doctor if that's a possibility for you guys, but that's something I would suggest. I know it's going to be painful, but the Tylenol you can take like every 4 to 6 hours. I think we're done. I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, leave me a comment below. I will answer you guys as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a speedy recovery. Again, don't be afraid. May God bless each and every one of you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. I know there's something. What did I forget to mention? I forgot to mention something. I forgot again.